And if you have prescriptions, like many of us do, you know that some of those prices have been soaring.
Yeah, and pharmacy owners say that middlemen are to blame in the insurance process.
Paula Vassan talked to a pharmacist who wants to expose it, as it can impact what drugs you can get, where you fill them, and how much you'll pay for them.
Ellsbury, Missouri is a town with more corn stalks than people. Fewer than 2,000 live here. They rely on one pharmacy.
Do you have any questions today?
One regular is 80-year-old Winston Bailey, who depends on 4 pills a day to deal with colon cancer.
I'm going to say $400 a month out of pocket.
A retired teacher, he says his savings account is slowly disappearing.
What I thought would be comfortable in rocking chair money, it's eating into that.
Jerry Callahan is the owner of Medicine Shop Pharmacy.
Bought my first one in 2001.
He says he's risking his job by talking with us, fearing retaliation among those who pay his bills.
Why are you speaking up?
Because it's something that needs to be done. Pharmacies are closing up right and left, and it's due to reimbursement.
He tells the I-Team middlemen involved in the drug pricing formula are leading to skyrocketing medication costs. He believes these middlemen are crippling his customers.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Medicine shop is.
And his business.
It's just getting tougher and tougher. I mean, there's not a day goes by that we fill a prescription below cost.
Which means it's getting harder and harder to operate.
The predictions are that 30% of the independent pharmacies are going to be gone by the end of next year if things don't change.
If this pharmacy closes, his customers may have to drive around 30 minutes away to get to the next closest one. And he says middlemen are to blame.
When we buy health insurance, we likely get a pharmacy benefit manager, PBM for short. They play a major role in setting the price for your medication. But many argue they've grown too powerful. Industry associations say the top 3, CVS Caremark, Express Scripts, and Optum Rx, control 80% of the prescription drug market. That impacts what you pay. Take Humalog, a type of insulin for people with diabetes. It's sold to pharmacies at $264. The generic version is $24. But insurance usually only covers the more expensive drug. Why? The nonprofit Pharmacists United for Truth and Transparency says PBMs get rebates from brand names. The result, more limited options for pharmacies and patients, while PBMs make a profit.
A spokesperson from the industry association representing PBMs disagrees. They argue they drive prices down by forcing manufacturers to compete with each other. But critics say those discounts help the PBM, not people like Bailey. And what's worse, this pharmacy owner says they're operating in secrecy.
They at least need to be transparent.
There are efforts. In Washington, D.C., there are more than 40 federal bills seeking to crack down on PBMs and lower drug costs. States have also passed laws to rein in certain practices. In Illinois, a bill was passed this year protecting pharmacists from speaking out about PBMs without retaliation. The goal, more transparency. Industry sources say Missouri has a ways to go, without any sort of PBM legislation passing in nearly a decade. And if that trend continues, Callahan says this town's only pharmacy may have to close its doors on its neighbors.
It's just unreal. It's horrible.
Who would not have a neighborhood store to buy their medication.
Oh, it's really sad.
If they can even afford it.
A spokesperson with the PBM Industry Association says they're not to blame for rising drug prices or for independent pharmacies closing. Instead, they say the bigger problem starts with drug companies that set and raise the prices. Pharmacy owners like Callahan argue PBMs certainly play a part, and in the end, consumers suffer. Back in 2020, the U.S. Supreme Court sided with then Arkansas Attorney General Leslie Rutledge regarding PBMs. Arkansas Act 900 mandates that PBMs reimburse pharmacies for generic drugs at a price equal to or higher than the pharmacy's cost for the drug. That law also allows pharmacies to decline to dispense a drug if the reimbursement rate is lower than the pharmacy's acquisition cost. An organization representing PBMs sued after the law was passed in 2015, but Supreme Court justices ultimately sided with Rutledge in upholding the law.